It came up and over, then it hit the roofs and went all across.
Frank Graham could only sit and watch.
This is the older portion, no firewalls.
Until the fire reached his building. He bought the one next to Mark's Pizzeria 20 years ago.
I hope they can save them, but it doesn't look good.
Frank paid back the May rent to all of his tenants, including Jamie and James Rose.
And our daughter, and that's all we need. Everything else can be replaced.
Who any day are expecting their first child.
So I turned around to leave, and I look out the window, and it's just a big, huge cloud of smoke. So I quick run downstairs to see what's going on, and there's flames shooting out the window right next to where I was standing.
This was the newlyweds' first apartment. Missing in the charred remains, a piece of jewelry.
My wedding ring. My fingers are too swollen to wear it, and it's gone.
And so is everything else gone, except what they packed in the car.
Thank you.
An extra change of clothes, the diaper bag with a couple pairs of clothes for the baby, the car seat, and the stroller.
All Cheryl Payne O'Connor can do is pray.
We don't have insurance because we can't afford it, so anything that's lost in there is gone, and we'll have to replace it somehow.
Cheryl's one of the founding members of the Spark of Divinity congregation, which has grown from 5 to 30. They will look for a new home and hopes others will find one too.
Well, we're strong, we're growing, we'll be fine. I just pray for the other people that lived in the apartments above and the other businesses. I hope that they're all right as well.
Thomas and Schrader, we love each other, we love to play against each other, and it really doesn't matter what we're doing, is the whole town comes out when we play.
Get it to camel.
They're playing as hard as they can. They're going to try to win this game, but it's all for a great cause.
I think it's supposed to be fun, but I mean, it's Webster, so I'm sure there's a little bit of competition in there too.
Let's go, Thomas! We wanted to do this because we lost some of our Webster firemen, and they were part of our Thomas family. And I felt like I needed to do something, and it was a way to get our kids to look forward to something and make them smile. It's very humbling, and it just goes to show what the town the Webster is. No, it's actually easier now that I'm here. It was kind of, thinking about it at home today, I was wondering what the heck I was doing, but now that I'm here, I know it's the right thing. I feel so liberating. You have a very pretty scalp. Not even a little bit. As she was doing it, all my nerves went away. It just felt good. I was like, this is all right. So Monday's gonna be okay. The kids are excited.
Allahu Akbar.
On a day when the world pauses to remember the lives lost,
Up there, make yourself comfortable for me.
dozens in Rochester's Muslim community rolled up their sleeves to give the gift of life.
And it goes to show, as a Muslim, my blood works for people of all faiths, so it doesn't matter what your faith is, this blood works for everyone.
Mubarak Bashir is an American Muslim. He says he reflects on this tragic day in history for two reasons.
As an American, it was a tragedy that every day of this, every 9/11 is going to be a tragic thing for all of Americans, and for Muslims, that someone hijacked our faith and flew those planes into the towers, and it doesn't represent our faith at all.
Paul Mangione does not practice the same religion, but shares some of the same values.
So many people are prejudiced of whatever religion they are. I'm Catholic, my friend, he's Muslim. We're both the same. We have love for people, love for our country, love for life.
Allahu Akbar.
As Bashir and others of his faith prayed tonight, the hope is lives will be saved because of their donations.
In the Quran, it says if you take one life, it's like you take all of mankind. After that, it says if you save one life, it's like you saved all of mankind. So that's why we're here today. We're looking to save lives rather than take lives.
With Rochester's sunrise, eager runners took to the Flower City Challenge start line. It began with a moment for Boston. It's a moment that has shaken Mark Clementi. 2 weeks ago, just 100 yards from the Boston finish line, a second bomb exploded.
It was surreal. I just, I got hit with some shrapnel, and I just, really couldn't comprehend what was going on, being that far into the race. But, I went from trying to finish the marathon to to survive on mode pretty fast.
Russ Herman was there too, blocks away. Today he's cheering from the sidelines.
We just want to, give our best wishes to the families and know that they're going to live with us for a lifetime. And we want them to know we'll always be there for them.
And Denise Gretadoro's every step was for Boston.
I think all of our hearts go out to the people there and what happened, the innocent bystanders. I do have Jeff Bauman's name written on my leg. I have legs that work. Even if my legs get tired, I'm going to think of those that lost their legs.
It's all about communication following Boston. And here there is a command post for the first time to coordinate EMS, fire, and the police department.
It's at 5K approaching finish.
911 dispatchers manned the phones. Emergency responders were highly visible.
This is something that you do. It lays out the organizational, and everybody's jobs are in here and where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do.
And the response plan heightened. The city's hazmat team also placed wireless gas monitoring devices throughout the course.
This is technology we've had for probably about 10 years. We're just starting to implement it in these types of events now.
Every incident is a learning experience for the emergency response community.
This time, as Clemente approached the finish line, all he heard were the cheers. In Rochester, Caroline Tucker, News 8.
It's called a squirrel slam, sir.
Then those people have a right to say what to do in their community.
The typically sleepy village of Holly is anything but these days.
Sing on Holly, New York!
We love Holly! We love Holly!
At the center of all the noise,
Holly, fantastic!
Squirrels. For the 7th year in a row, the Holly Fire Department held its Squirrel Slam fundraiser.
Yes, I'm all for it. It's a way of life out here, That's the way we live.
Hunters as young as 12 years old can enter up to 5 squirrels for weighing. The biggest wins a prize.
It's wrong. I'm against the gun laws. They shouldn't have a gun until they're at least 21 or so, when they're well in their mind of what they should do and what they shouldn't do. I think they're wrong.
Holly fire officials would not say how much they even raised from the Squirrel Slam and whether or not they'll consider a different fundraiser next year.
Everybody has the freedom of speech and have their own opinions. I mean, that's what our governments and countries founded on.
You didn't have to be in Holly to hear of the Squirrel Slam or the controversy surrounding it. Online petitions and opinions circulated quickly. Despite the protests, the hunt went on, and so does the debate.
The time for change has come.
In Orleans County,
And I'm 1 county away, so now...
Amy Young, News 8.
Would you like to sign our petition to end cancer by the end of the decade, please?
James McCauley is fighting for Camp Good Days and Special Times. It's part of Cancer Mission 2020.
I want you to keep watch over a bill that's currently in Congress.
The organization dedicated to improving the quality of life for those with cancer wants H.R. 2301 to pass. Legislation that would make federally funded cancer research accountable and public.
Will not only hopefully save some money, but also will save some time. One of the things that we'll do is to stop a lot of duplication in research.
The numbers drive Executive Director Gary Mervis. He wants cancer to go from a death sentence to a disease by the end of the decade.
But if you're a woman in this country, your odds of being diagnosed with cancer at some point in your lifetime is 1 in 3, and if you're a man, it's 1 in 2.
Congresswoman Louise Slaughter co-sponsored the bipartisan bill.
And I know that his heart and soul are in it, and he's watched so many young people suffer with that disease, including his own daughter. And I would do anything to help him get this done.
Thousands have signed from all 50 states and dozens of countries around the world.
We were going to present these signatures on the floor of Congress.
The PGA traffic at Rochester's airport has helped.
The family that I've come to visit, he is a cancer survivor twice now. His daughter is very involved with the Relay for Life here in town, and so we've been surrounded by it and just grateful for everything that's happened so far.
Dr. Kenny Simpkins says too much of his practice deals with cancer.
It's a major impact on people's lives. So it would be great if we could find a solution ultimately but it's going to take a lot of work.
Work the Camp Good Days team is prepared for.
Sir, thank you so much. God bless you.
At Rochester's airport, Caroline Tucker, News 8.
It makes you feel proud. Proud to be a Rochesterian, proud to be among a group like this that people support. And the crowd that's here, it shows you that people care.
Hearts were heavy at Grease Ridge Mall, but people held their heads high as they walked and paid tribute to the firefighters who were killed and injured on Christmas Eve. Operation Patriot led the way.
When this happened, I was full of emotion. I really can't explain how I felt. And then watching the events unfold and the funerals and the services, it was tear-jerking. And it was important for us to respond.
The community agreed. Hundreds came together to show their support for the West Webster Volunteer Firemen's Association.
Hopefully they get past this and know that everybody is still here for them and we still care.
It's extremely difficult. It's such a senseless crime, and to make sense of it, you can't wrap your head around it. And it's just so emotional. You know, it was really hard for me to not cry with, seeing all the people here and showing respect and honor to great men and women.
West Webster firefighters were among the walkers. Phil Vanderlee says the department is overwhelmed by the community's generosity. It's that generosity that is helping the firefighters cope.
It is tough for all of us, and we're all going through a lot right now. We all have a lot of different emotions about everything, and it's really hard to put anything right into words right now about that.
The firemen have always been important in this area. We've had volunteers for years and years, so when something like this happens, it touches everybody.
We want to make sure that they get everything that they need as quickly as possible.
Practice makes perfect, and the Red Cross agrees.
That's what we always train for, is what could happen, with the thought in mind we never want it to happen. But if it should, we're good to go.
Today, the local Red Cross chapter held a hurricane scenario disaster drill.
Checking out the map where we're going and what streets are closed.
Nearly 100 volunteers ready and willing to respond.
Hurricane Rock has hit the area and caused some flooding and some damage across the areas.
While the Red Cross doesn't expect hurricanes to impact Rochester, there is always the possibility. It's been almost 8 months since Superstorm Sandy hit the New York region. The perfect example that the unexpected can happen.
We're learning here because it could happen here. Remember, the original storm track for Sandy brought it right up 390 right into Rochester. It was only by a weather change that it didn't happen here.
So how does the Red Cross prepare? Today's drill showed it takes an army to respond to any disaster.
You see all the disciplines in the background, and you see feeding, sheltering, government operations, disaster assessment, logistics, transportation. They're all represented here as part of the response the Red Cross would normally send to a disaster area.
So we can go straight down east.
Outside the headquarters, several teams dispatched to different parts of Rochester, assessing the damage that Hurricane Rock caused.
We are simulating that there's a hurricane in this area, and we're just going door to door and simulating, assessing each building for damage.
Help us get our supplies such as food, water, other relief supplies into the areas that are hardest hit, to know where those are, and then to start to kind of coordinate the response afterwards.
A response that may have been practiced today, but could be the real deal tomorrow.
These volunteers are now prepared to go anywhere in the state or anywhere in the country and do the exact same thing with more training, more preparedness, and more confidence.
In Rochester, Ashley Zilka, News 8.
On any given day, if you don't stop at a red light, you could find a ticket in your mailbox days later.
I'm going to tell you right now, I got a ticket and I'm not going to pay the ticket because I just think that it's ridiculous. I mean, I have to count to turn right on red. It's not like I'm eating the light. I got a ticket for turning before. It was like a 15-second rule that I didn't even know about as a driver. Who's going to remember that stuff?
Beatrice LeBron says she supports Rochester lawyer Larry Krieger, who is challenging the constitutionality of the cameras. Krieger says it violates the right to due process.
Everybody's right to have an opportunity to be heard and a fair chance in court. This law doesn't provide that. It finds that the video is irrebuttable proof, and it issues a ticket to a registered owner, whether they're the driver or not, and that's it, you're guilty.
At $50 a pop, the city of Rochester makes money off the red light cameras. The city argues the cameras keep motorists safe.
We do believe this to be constitutional. We don't believe that it violates anybody's rights, and we believe that it serves an important purpose in protecting public safety in the city.
Red light cameras began being installed in Rochester in 2010. More are on the horizon.
I'm not that cynical to think that the city is doing it just for the money. I think that's kind of a bonus if they make some money from it, but you know, I think the main thing is to stop these people who really do blow right through red lights.
You're gonna choose whatever stroke you want. If you're a backstroker, do backstroke. I push them and nothing about it is easy. 3 breaths.
Wilson High coach Ashley Pierce started the season with 2 swimmers. Now she has 9.
200 fast, no breath, in and out of your flip turns.
She's tough, but she loves it.
Some were already competitive swimmers. Others could barely swim.
There were some girls who couldn't get halfway down the pool when we first started.
Really reach that arm out, pull it around, and then pull that water, okay?
Like Shy Duh.
At that time, I can't really swim across the pool. I probably sink, and I was afraid to go down the deep end.
Now Shy swims 200 yards at a time. She finishes every race.
I always the last person.
It takes a strong person to be like, I don't care, I'm gonna just do better.
There are only 2 girls swim teams in the Rochester City School District.
Swimming in the city is not as accessible as in the suburbs.
Most females wanna play volleyball or cheerlead, and most guys wanna play football or basketball.
It's a life skill, I personally believe, and it's such a great sport and such a great way to be healthy.
The girls go up against suburban teams with a lot more swimmers, really fast swimmers.
Sometimes it's a little intimidating, but we just try to stay focused on having fun and beating ourselves.
Mission accomplished.
The greatest compliment I can ask for is when a coach sees them swim at the beginning of the season, and then we swam against the same team this past Tuesday, and he said, you look like a completely different team.
Most improved is going to be impossible to give because everyone is just improved like by miles.
And while swimming may be an individual sport,
Come on, Shy!
the Wilson High girls are in it together.
Okay, the first time Shy did that, Shy, it took you about 8 minutes last time. Today, it took you 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Nice job. I just want these girls to shine. They're fantastic.
Rachel Barnhart, News 8.